iPhone 16 Pro, Pro Max, the Plus and the standard model. What do we know so far? Let me tell you. Well, according to Rossier, the iPhone 16 will still feature a 6.12-inch display and the 16 Plus will equip with a 6.69-inch display, just like the current iPhone 15 and 15 Plus with the same aspect ratio, 19.5:9. Now, you might be thinking, why I'm saying this? Well, the reason is the iPhone 17 and 17 Plus will come with a 6.23-inch screen, the standard model, and the Plus model will come with a 6.86-inch display. But that's not the only thing. The LTPS display is actually rumored to come with the iPhone 17 and 17 Plus in 2025, according to Rossier. So that means the iPhone 17 and the 17 Plus will be the first non-Pro models to feature the ProMotion 120Hz refresh rate. And it is also not clear if that will be 1 to 120Hz like the current Pro and Pro Max, or it will switch between 60 to 120Hz or 10 to 120Hz, because that is software locking, they can do it. And we also don't know whether AOD is coming or always-on display is coming to the iPhone 17 series with the launch of the ProMotion on those displays. But that's not only it, the aspect ratio will also change to 19.6:9 from 19.5:9, according to Rossier. But one tipster actually has been told that iPhone 16 and 16 Plus will actually have 120Hz display and thinner bezels like the current Pro models. Now, it is also not again clear about the refresh rate situation, but it is coming to the iPhone 16 and 16 Plus, according to that tipster. So the refresh rate thing is still confusing at this moment, because even this leaker said that some of the information is actually not accurate at the moment, because the iPhones are still in the testing phase, so things can change down the line. So definitely I will clear that up in the future news when that will arrive. Anyway, now coming to the Pro model of next year, not next year's, which shows the 16 Pro and Pro Max will actually have the bigger screen size than the 16 and 16 Plus. The 16 Pro will have a 6.27-inch screen and the 16 Pro Max will have a 6.86-inch screen with slightly taller aspect ratio, 19.6:9. Now, the same tipster who is saying that the iPhone 16 and 16 Plus will come with high refresh rate is also saying that there is a prototype currently Apple testing, which is actually a prototype of the iPhone 16 Pro, but it has a hole punch cutout instead of a full dynamic island, the pill cutout. It's actually coming with only the selfie camera cutout. The Face ID sensors are going to be underneath the screen. Now, this is not a new thing we are hearing, because the same thing has been told by Rossier, but Rossier said that will come sometimes with the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max. But the non-Pro phones will continue to have dynamic island for a few generations now. So again, it makes it a little more confusing. The major reason is to differentiate them from the Pro models, and that's understandable, because this is the first time we're seeing standard models coming with dynamic island, so it will have to stay here for a little longer than that. Now, one early report actually says that the non-Pro models, the iPhone 16 models, will continue to have 2 cameras, not 3. Now they will be mounted vertically, which means that we're going back to the design of the iPhone 10, kind of. Now, you might be thinking, why? Maybe to make it look a little more different from the existing model, or maybe make it similar to the iPhone 16 Ultra. Now, if you want to know about the iPhone 16 Ultra, here's the thing. This is the model that might not even replace the Pro Max though. The Ultra model will come with another camera, aside from the 3-camera setup that we have been seeing for almost a few years now. Now, we still don't know, even the leaker doesn't have any idea about the camera's specs or what it will do, but at the very least, it will probably gonna do something about the special computer, the Vision Pro, or maybe a 3x teleporter camera again. Maybe, I just don't know. Now, the tipster says that the US variant of these phones, the 16 Pro, Pro Max and the Plus models, will actually have a button that will turn on the millimeter wave signals on the phone. So in case you want that, you will have it, otherwise you can turn it off. Button means maybe an option in the settings or something like that. Now, another thing that is already expected is that Apple's Tetraprism 5x zoom camera is coming to the iPhone 16 Pro next year. Now, this is not unexpected at all, but Apple needed a little more space inside for that camera. Now, because the 6.1-inch screen is going to be now 6.3-inch on the Pro model, so definitely they will have more space to fit the camera. That's why it is coming. Now, according to Mac rumors though, the 12-megapixel ultra-wide-angle camera on the Pro models will be replaced with a 48-megapixel sensor next year, which actually should theoretically allow the iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max or the Ultra model to gather more light and take much more high quality images while using the ultra-wide-angle mode or 0.5x mode. under direct light, because in the night it will still use a 12 megapixel bin photo. So now the new sensor might also allow the iPhone 16 Pro to capture 48 megapixel Pro RAW images, more detailed and more editable ultra wide angle shots if you care about that. And on top of that, maybe they will include certain other things like much better stabilized video using the ultra wide angle and the main camera together, something like that, because they're not putting a 48 megapixel camera on the ultra wide angle sensor for no reason. Now, another thing, according to Apple insiders, is that the iPhone 16 Pro might also come with a molded glass lenses to slim down the camera bump, which actually seems necessary nowadays, and it will also reduce the weight of the phone. Now, if everything works out, the iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max will actually feature the molded glass lenses, but this is still in a prototyping phase, so keep that in mind. Now, other than that, Bloomberg actually recently said that Apple is counting more on the iOS 18 to sell the iPhone 16 line more than the raw hardwares. So definitely big changes are coming to the iOS 18. But Apple is currently focusing on the quality of the software than the features at least at this stage. And according to Android Authority, Apple is planning to overhaul the virtual assistant, the Siri, using its own in-house large language model. Now, this could be the biggest jump for Siri yet. And according to the website, it says Apple's most powerful killer AI app, because Siri has been one of the weakest virtual assistants till now. So that could really change, but people have to wait for WW 2024. Now, Mac rumors report that non-Pro iPhone 16 and 16 Plus are likely to make a big jump in the raw power as well from the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus's A16 Bionic. Now, you might be thinking what it is going to be powered by. Well, actually, the report is saying that they will be powered by the powerful A18 chipset manufactured by TSMC using their second generation 3nm architecture. Now, if you don't know, the current Pro and Pro Max actually come with an exclusive A17 Pro chipset. Now, this is a very expensive chip to manufacture actually, not just like another 3nm chipset it is. And that's why it doesn't have a standard A17 chipset around. So looking at that, Apple will slightly detune the A18 Pro chipset to fit inside the iPhone 16 and 16 Plus, and they will be able to claim that it is not using last year's flagship chipset anymore. Now, another extra thing that we're hearing is the capture button. That will actually be a solid-state button aside from the action button that will also become a solid-state button next year. Means they will all be capacitive buttons, so they're touch and pressure sensitive, so they don't actually have the depressing mechanism inside. But then again, it's still in the prototyping phase, so things can change at the end, but I will keep you guys updated once I get to know anything about that. Yeah, that's all about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think at this point about the chipset or the capture button? And yes, if you want, you can get some crazy cool wallpapers up on my website. A link down below. Until the next one, bye and take care.